Hello, everyone, and welcome back. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington. So, before we dive into today's episode, which is Ubah Hassan saying she's not a bully, she's never lied or caused conflict on the show, after people are calling her out for her very mean and nasty behavior. So, I want to know what you guys think about this. I personally don't think it's a Team Brynn versus Team Ubah conversation. I don't even think there are sides to this. I think Brynn is wrong, and I think Ubah is also wrong for different reasons. So before we dive in, go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. It's a fun and easy way to support me and the show. So with that, let's go. So this is according to Reality Blurb. It says Ubah Hassan responded to claims of being a bully on her Instagram story after last week's finale episode of The Real Housewives of New York City saw her at war with Brynn Whitfield. After Brynn accused Ubah of using her past sexual assault, you know what I'm saying, against her by suggesting she slept with men to get ahead in her career. Ubah was confronted by a viewer who accused her of horrible behavior and insinuated that she would never be a good wife or mother. Quote, I have never commented on a post ever. I love Roni, but you are the biggest, meanest bully I have ever encountered. No one stands up to you. I cannot imagine you as a wife and sure not a mother. Just horrible behavior, the person said. In response, Uma shared her statement of her own. Quote, this message speaks volumes about where you are in life. I have never lied, gossiped, or caused conflict on the show. I only respond when the nonsense becomes impossible to ignore, she explained. What you see may highlight my reactions, but not the reasons behind them. If you watched with an open mind and an unbiased perspective, you'd see that I never initiate drama, I only address it. Your hatred toward me is nothing more than a reflection of your own insecurities and lack of authenticity. Now, and then she goes on to say, clearly my confidence and straightforwardness triggered the cowardly in you, and for that I'll say that's a you problem, Ubah added. I'm not trying to be mean, but I don't think Ubah wrote that. I think her publicist wrote that. I don't see Ubah putting those sentences together. It is what it is. No tea, no shade. I don't think Ubah speaks this way. So I 100% think her publicist wrote that for her. Anyway, I do think the person went too far saying, I don't see you as a wife or a mother. Like that comment was unnecessary. But I do agree with the person who said that Ubah is a bully. I personally do think Ubah is a bully. I do. I think she's mean. I think she's nasty. And then I think she's very rude. We've seen this behavior before. Let's just stick with the New York Housewives. We've seen, like for example, Ubah throwing the water at Erin. That was completely uncalled for. Ubah ripping Erin's shades off her face last season. That was uncalled for. The screaming and the yelling and the telling everybody to shut up and to pipe down is hard to watch, and it is very toxic, and we've seen it before. We saw Ramona when Ramona threw the wine glass at Kristen Takeman and it hit her face. We've seen Ramona say to Bethany, oh, Bethany, you slept your way to the top. We saw Dorinda say, Sonia, you are like the Holland Tunnel or close your easy pass or something like that. Basically means she lets every guy in and out or whatever. So we've seen this toxic behavior before. However, number one, the climate is very different when it comes to speaking about women and what happens with their body, what they choose to do, what they don't choose to do, the Me Too movement. The climate is very different, and also the context is very different. Now, I do believe Ubah when she says that she didn't know that Brynn had been, essayed, when she said the comment about, oh, you slept your way to the top, you slept with someone to get this job, blah, blah, blah. I agree with that. However, once Brynn said that she had been, to me, the conversation changed. The climate changed. The whole thing changed. Ubah's like, you have to tell me when. I didn't know. And she's doing all this very performative things. She's shaking and she's crying and she's calling her a bee. She's like, to me, a normal person with any type of heart would be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I had no idea. I'm so sorry I said that. What happened? Let's talk about it. To me, the over the top reaction, calling her the B word, wanting to fight her, going off, I can't believe you did this, da, 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 all this stuff. It was very performative. Very, very performative. She didn't really care about Brynn. And I get it. Brynn is very problematic too. I'm not giving Brynn a pass. I think that when it comes to Brynn, I think that she's unwell. I think there's something really going on there. I think the lying, I think the, exaggerations, the triangulations, all of that, the attention-seeking behavior, saying Ubah knew, all these things, I think she's unwell and she has a lot going on and she needs to unpack. So I'm not giving her a pass. I'm just saying that I don't think Ubah is innocent either. I think that they both are wrong. And I think that Ubah kind of gets a pass with the whole like, oh, angry black woman thing, blah, 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 blah. I think Ubah agrees with Brynn. I don't think that Ubah wants to appear as the angry black woman. I think Ubah was worried that Oliver would think that she was too black to marry. And this was confirmed with, I don't know what the Bravo episode said, but I know that the Peacock version, Raquel exposed it. She said, yeah, I don't know if I'm being manipulated by both of them. She was like, Ubah on the plane ride, her only concern was, I hope Oliver doesn't think I'm as crazy as Brynn is. And before, at the beginning of the season, when, Aaron and Brynn and Ubah were talking about, that you don't want to be the angry black woman. Will Oliver want to marry you? Brynn is looking out for you, all that stuff. The very next day when they were on camera, all of a sudden Ubah's all smiles. Brynn, I forgive you. We're cool. We're cool. The only reason why I act like this is because of Brynn. Brynn made me do it. It's all Brynn's fault, because she was trying to backtrack and absolved her piss poor, nasty bully behavior and blame everything on Brynn. Again, I'm not saying Brynn is innocent. Brynn needs a lot of help. And just because you are unwell and you need help, that does not give you the right to lie on people. That does not give you the right to try to create storylines and to create drama. I'm not saying that's right. But I'm saying that I think they both are wrong in this situation. Okay? Let's keep going with the article. While Ubah has faced backlash for her behavior towards Brynn, she's also gotten plenty of support from both her fans and castmates, some of whom took a stand against Brynn, who admitted that Ubah may not have heard her when she spoke of her past SA. Now, again, I think the entire cast turning on Brynn is warranted, but it also does a disservice. Like, what good does that do? It doesn't really do any good. I think holding her accountable, but then also having the real conversations about SA, having real conversations about racism, real conversations about anti-Blackness, real conversations about mental health. I think that is way more valuable than just everybody trying to pick a side, Team Brynn versus Team Ubah, because they don't want to be canceled, because they want to be on the right side of history, because they don't, you know what I mean? Like, I think that all of that, I think this entire cast, this entire storyline, this entire season, it's all very fake and phony and very performative. And I don't think any of these women actually care about each other. I'm not liking any of these women. I'm not liking Sai or Jenna or Aaron or Jessel or Ubah or Brynn. To me, I think this entire cast is a wash. I think they've all showed up performing, and none of them are being who they truly are. I'll keep Raquel. Other than that, and I'll keep Rebecca Minkoff. Other than that, they all can, kick rocks. Because they're all dirty and wrong. Because if any of these women truly had any ounce of realness and authenticity to them, throughout the season, they would hold Ubah accountable in a loving way. They tried to at the very finale when they're like, okay, Ubah, you yell at people and you don't let people talk and the whole Puerto Rico stuff, but they all are scared of her. Number one, they're scared to say anything to Ubah because they don't want to appear to be racist or colorist. So they don't want to say anything to her. And then number two, they don't want to say anything to her because they don't want to deal with her acting out. And that was a huge disservice. It would have been good if we could have seen her really be held accountable, because she should be held accountable. She's a nasty person. She is, in my opinion. And then if any of these women actually cared about Brynn, or truly about women who have been SA'd, instead of just cutting her off and, unfollowing her and doing all this stuff, I think they would have a real conversation and be like, sweetheart, you need some help. You need some help to deal with whatever childhood stuff you went through. You need some help to deal with what happened to you with the SA. You need some help to deal with all of this toxic behavior you're having, and also hold Brynn accountable for the shenanigans she pulled. Because Brynn is not innocent and Ubah isn't innocent. But there is no true accountability. Everyone is so afraid of appearing to be some type of way that they've lost any true humanity or connectivity or true caring or authenticity. They're all performing. They're all stunting. And it's boring, and it does a disservice to any real woman watching who has gone through childhood trauma in SA, or are like Ubah, and who may be a good person but doesn't have the tools to communicate in effective ways, and who lacks the emotional intelligence to take accountability for themselves. Or who, like Brynn, doesn't have anybody in their life to say, sweetheart, you need to get some help to work through all this stuff. Because I don't think Ubah is a bad person, and I don't think Brynn is a bad person. I think these are two very wounded women, and what we're seeing, the wounds in them being manifested out. And everyone's so scared of being a racist, so scared of being a colorist, so scared of being this, that, and the third, that they're not holding people accountable for their actions. And that does a disservice to everybody. Oof. So as always, I want to know what you guys think about this. Where do you land? And again, I'm not going to say Team Ubah or Team Brynn in this situation, because this conversation, it's too real to be like we're picking sides. There's no real side in this. The whole situation is sad. To be honest with you, the whole situation is just sad. So I want to know what you guys think about this. How do you think Bravo handled the situation? I think they did a really poor job handling it, and I'll talk more about that in a longer video. I think Bravo should have had all the women come together and had a professional psychologist or psychiatrist or therapist, whatever the case may be, who deals, or maybe even two people. One person who specializes in, sexual trauma, another person who may deal with racism or colorism or whatever that may be, anti-Blackness trauma, real true professionals who can come in and help these women work through these issues in a real, authentic way. And that truly be the example and representation that the audience can take from, something that is actually tangible and real, that can add value to our lives and how we operate and move through the world, versus let's just have people unfollow each other and, ignore people and do this, that, and the third and pick sides. It's all whack to me. So as always, be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.